What is up, everybody? It is November 18th. Monday, November 18th. AD 2024. It's Monday the 18th. And everybody loves Mondays, don't we? We better love Mondays. We're going to have a fun show, I hope, guys. We'll take your calls if you'd like to call in. Some of you already on hold. Your super chats as well. I have some ball earth proof to show to you. I finally found a... I went to the beach yesterday afternoon, and saw the sunset over the horizon. And yes, it is a ball. Obvious globe. Shout out. By the way, I am pleased with our greatest president's controversial picks, because he should be picking controversial, meaning halfway decent. Controversial is, as you've already known for a long time, that controversial is a buzzword for halfway decent. Let's hope that this one doesn't shout at me. Remember that shouted at me? Take the... And it's a woman telling me what to do. But it's ridiculous. Maybe I should just mute it, because I don't like that. I turned it down. Anyway, Matt Gaetz. Oh, S-word trafficking. Please. And Pete Hegseth, that upstanding, clean-cut military guy who's on Fox News. Sensible guy. He wouldn't hurt a fly, much less a woman. You know? Unless it was in self-defense. I mean, you never know, but it's irrelevant. This S-word stuff, this assault stuff, it's irrelevant to whether they can lead the country. Oh, Pete Hegseth, 2017, was accused of something, which I don't even know that much about. But silly women, that's what I call it. That's what they're about. They're about ridiculous things. So I'm happy that Trump has picked those guys. They say, and I read in Hake News that that the administration was taken by surprise by those allegations that came up, right? Please. I mean, if they were taken by surprise about that, then that's fine with me, because they're not one of those, they're not those types who have to pour through your background. But I don't know. I don't necessarily buy that they were taken by surprise, but sources say that they were taken by surprise. What a mess, huh? Let's hope that this thing doesn't shout at me. I think it might. Anyway, and I'm not even really that big of a fan of Matt Gaetz, really, honestly, nor of Pete Hegseth. I'm just, I guess, waiting and seeing, but they tempt me to be on their side by them going against them. When the media goes against people, I'm tempted to go on their side. That's why I stand with Diddy. Is that called contrarian? Shameful. Don't pick sides. But I do see that it's a bunch of phoniness, and I see Trump as a real guy. So anyway, guys, let's just get right on with the show.
Have you been naughty or nice?
It's the Hake Report. La, la, la. It's the Hake Report. La, la, la.
Hey, guys!
It's the Hake Report. La, la, la. It's the Hake Report. La, la, la.
So, how you guys doing? I'm fine. I have my Stay With It t-shirt on. It's size medium. I can tell it fits a little bit more snugly than my Target t-shirt. The pocket tee. Those pocket tees are just nice. They're like perfect. But this one's okay. It doesn't look too ridiculous. A large would be maybe too roomy, but it would be more Christian and more modest, like the large that I wore on whatever Friday. Isn't this scenery so nice? And the washing waves. This is called Sacred Cove, and we can't go down there anymore. Okay. So nice. Man, that's terrible. My monitor is not kicking on, but okay, it's no big deal. You can get yours by going to check out amazing-merch-store.printify.me, I think. I'll paste it in the YouTube chat. Rebuildingtheman.com/stores and then click on the Printify link. Okay? Rebuildingtheman.com/stores. Stay with it. And black, dark black, praying hands. And it says Jesse Lee Peterson right here. Jesse Lee Peterson. I can't follow along when I'm looking at this. And then it says rebuildingtheman.com/prayer. Very cute. Cool. It's not cute. It's cool. Right on. Nice. Eat that seal, Hake. It's sick. Hake is the best flat earther ever. Very kind. You're very kind. Yeah. Shall I prove it to you guys? I think I will. Over on, I think I have the video to prove it. Just real quick. Hopefully this doesn't take too long. Let's see if this works. Oh, man. That's loud. Is that loud? Turn it down. Oh, I'm going to have to turn it back up then. No, let me turn it back up because I don't want to have to turn it back down. I'll just turn it down over here. What a mess. Let me show this to you guys. Look at that beautiful sunset. Does Command F? No. Oh, I'm such a boomer. It's going over here. Okay, here it goes. Nope, that didn't work. Where's the play button? What the heck? Hold on, guys. Complicated business. Okay, here, maybe it'll play. Yeah, there we go. That's impossible. Pardon the wind. The sun is setting last night. Yesterday afternoon. 4:48.
God is your father.
God is your father.
No, the devil is. It's impossible.
I'm just being silly, but we're looking at the sunset and it's dipping below the horizon. An obvious globe.
My hands are cold.
Sun.
See it?
My hands are cold because it's cold out there.
Lord.
Cold for Hake standards, you know. And then it's like a sliver, and then it dips. It was like a semicircle, and it went to nothing.
Focus.
Isn't it a nice picture, too, by the way? See, there, now it's gone. Ball Earth proof. In your face. Shout out to the flat earthers. Explain that, flat earthers. Or maybe they shout out. So that's your proof. It is a ball Earth. This is kind of silly. But anyway, shout out. Let me get to Hayden in Texas is on the line here. Hayden, thank you for calling and holding, man. What's up?
Hey, how's it going, Hake?
Going well. How are you?
So I'm doing good. I'm on the road right now, so I don't have much time.
Sweet.
Would it be okay if I make a few if I make a few comments?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So I heard the other day your caller from Phoenix with all the facts. He said that Obama didn't import more people than he did deport during his administration. Trump has said 100 times, over 100 times probably, that probably the biggest reason that he won in 2016 was because of the border problem.
Yeah.
And that was because Obama did import more people than he did deport.
Import meaning that he allowed these illegals to come in and even like gave them the free, gave them de facto amnesty.
Correct.
Yeah.
Exactly. And he's done the exact same thing within this administration as we've seen with Kamala Harris and Joe Biden.
Yeah.
He's had his hand on all the craziness going on in this administration. The ball Earth flat Earth theory.
Yes.
Was that conversation was created just to distract people from the main problem that we actually have going on in society, and that is, in my humble opinion, the whole race issue. And I'm going to defend the blacks for one time in my life. It's not just this is what Mark said with the problem race or whatever. It is every other race that is not white that's the problem, and it's just crazy that this whole ball Earth and flat Earth thing is even a discussion. That people would even argue about it. You know what I'm saying?
I do. It's interesting. People who are prone to argue will get sucked into arguments, and I agree. It is a distraction from all kinds of stuff. I think even
right.
I agree with you that all the races are kind of teamed up against the whites, including some of the even normal whites are buying into this stuff. The young ones, especially, and some of the women and the gays and all that.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. What you said.
So that is an issue. A lot of the flat earthers are pretty tough though on the race issue, and they're in favor of the whites. So they're just gonna tell you, well, Hayden, we can walk and chew gum at the same time, meaning we can fight for flat Earth and fight for the whites at the same time. But that is a distraction, and people infight, and it also is demeaning, sort of, because people are so shallow that they'll look down on you if you're a flat earther, or if they're flat earthers, they'll look down on you if you're a ball tard, like you and I are, I think. So yeah, it is a mess. It kind of makes the people who are flat earthers look crazy to the world, and they are a little bit crazy, but the world is crazy too. The non-flat earthers, they're crazy in very destructive ways as well. So it's a phony judgment.
It was only designed to distract. That's all this is about.
Great point, man. Indeed.
And lastly, if I could, the Constitution was written for white people, by white people, for white people, and colors were not seen as equals to white people. In
terms of America, in terms of who should run America and all that. Yeah, I can agree with that, because it said for us and our posterity. They weren't even necessarily thinking in terms of race. They were just thinking of terms of their people themselves, their children, and their fellow countrymen who were not British, they were not English, they were American. Right. Yeah. It's that
all men and women are created equal. They were not included in that category.
Constitution is FUBU, for us, by us. You know FUBU, the brand, the black brand.
Yes.
I got some FUBU shorts one time when I dressed up black. It was for Halloween.
You dressed up as black?
For Halloween, yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't get canceled.
It was before. I didn't even know there was anything wrong with it. I mean, I kind of knew that it was a little iffy, a little edgy, but I didn't know that there was this thing. I forgot this word, blackface, and my liberal college professor friend said, "Hey, I was a substitute teacher at the time. Hey, you're a substitute teacher and you're wearing blackface?" So, like, some of the liberals knew, but anyway. It's not like I dressed up black in my normal life. I wasn't like a wigger.
Yeah, you didn't have your...
Although I did wear baggy clothes in the 90s like everybody else did. Because I didn't want to be a nerd.
didn't wear your pants down to your knees.
Right. I didn't sag them. I didn't really sag them. No.
That's hilarious. But yeah, I just wanted to get on here and say that you and Mark are correct. Thank you for you. I may call in with some more stuff tomorrow, but I don't know yet.
Cool.
But thank you and Mark for all you do. I really appreciate it.
All right. Well, thank you, Hayden, and I wish you well. And be careful, be wise.
Yeah.
Be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry is the Bible phrase.
That's right.
Good to hear
You're
from you,
absolutely
Kate.
right.
I appreciate you, man. Take care.
Same to you, Hake.
All right. Bye. And Joe, my co-host, who is mentioned by Hayden in Phoenix. Joe in Phoenix, thank you for calling and holding, man. How you doing?
Good morning, James.
Morning.
All righty. As usual, your Keystone Cops, Keystone Commandos get everything wrong.
Is Hayden included in the Keystone Cops?
Absolutely.
He is?
He is.
But how? He's a young, competent, up-and-coming, growing young man. How is he a Keystone Cop?
I'll get into that in just a second because, of course, he didn't give any sources for his nonsense about.
But you don't
Obama,
have. You don't give sources either. I mean, sometimes you give sources, but the sources are you're analyzing the source, and you're not really. Anyway, sources are not needed.
Okay, sure.
Okay, but if you take issue with his saying that Obama imported more illegals than he deported.
Mm-hmm.
Imported might not be the right word, but aside from that, can you cite any source that says that no, he didn't let in more people than he deported?
I absolutely will do so. If you give me 30 seconds beforehand, though, I'd appreciate it.
All right, I'll give you 30 seconds. Well, I can't make any promises, but go ahead.
I know you don't. All right, as you know, I'm a huge history nerd. And over the weekend, I was watching a documentary on the Nuremberg trial, which is fascinating. And one of the defendants said that, and I thought it was very applicable to the Keystone Cops, Keystone Commandos, that he feels the hatred and anger of the world being directed at him. And I think that's really what's happening with a lot of the Keystone Commandos that call your show.
There's truth to that, too. There's hatred and malice of the world, and it's being misdirected at the whites and the men. I
wouldn't call them the whites. I'd call them the Keystone Commandos, Keystone Cops.
Okay, but they're white men, and there is an attack upon whites. They shouldn't take it personally. They shouldn't feel that's a flaw in them if they're feeling that inwardly. Mm-hmm. But there is an attack upon the whites.
It's fascinating that the NOI says almost the exact same thing, just in reverse. That the black people are the ones being attacked. The black people are the ones being hated.
But they are. The blacks are under attack as well. Maybe not in the way that the Nation of Islam says, NOI, Nation of Islam. In some ways, though, they are. When they want to promote the transgender agenda, they bring out a black transgender. When they want to promote the degeneracy, they highlight the black degeneracy and prop it up like it's this wonderful thing, meaning like the children out of single mothers and stuff like that, which is an indication of degeneracy, right?
We actually agree on that. So
there is they argue those things, I believe, and so they are right that there's an attack on all people, but there's an interesting attack on whites too, though. I don't dispute that the Nation of Islam says it. Everybody feels like they're under attack. But do you notice every time they bring up racism, they pretend like it's just whites who are the ones who are racist generally, for the most part.
I did that for sure, yeah.
No, I'm not talking about the Nation of Islam. I'm talking about they being the mainstream culture, if you will.
I see it. I see, racism being focused at white people, sure, but also at black people. I mean,
right.
Fox News never fails to highlight that 1.05%.
Is that racism?
That is by design.
Is that an attack on blacks?
Absolutely.
Really? You think Fox has it out for black people?
It's by design to play to their base. Absolutely.
But the base loves fair and balanced information. And the whole rest of the media is not fair and balanced about the black crime issue. How crime is out of control among the blacks.
And to demonize black people. That's what the base loves.
Now you're just smearing the Fox News audience, and I don't appreciate it, but you can do what you want.
Okay.
It's a free country.
All right. Speaking of which, it's interesting, James. I mean, it's your show. You got to do what you want. As you said many times, there's no fairness on the Hake report.
Right.
But, again, you have me. Then you have the chief Keystone cop, Keystone Commando calling in, whining and complaining like a little crybaby about me almost every call he does. And but in reality, he's the one putting your show at continual risk by using racial slurs.
Joe, drop it. Drop this issue for me.
Give me 10 more seconds, please. He's the one calling in with names of literal domestic terrorists.
All right, Joe, drop it. No more seconds. You've made your point. You've made the same point over and over again, and like we've already talked about over and over again. You can call in and say, "Oh, correct the record," or give your counter information. I don't know what he says to be true. Don't believe anything that he says. Don't believe anything Joe says. So now, can we move on to your dispute with my prior caller? HADEN said that Obama imported more illegals than he deported. Can you prove that to be false?
Sources.
Yes.
Sources.
No. Give me your source. Yeah.
I am. Yes. Give me your source. Good grief, James.
All right.
PEW, Pew Research, and factcheck.org. 2 numbers for you. 35% decline in attempts to cross the border under Obama, and overall numbers, 6% less of illegals present in the United States. 6% drop during his 8 years.
How do they know that to be true?
I could not find their methodology.
Right.
I could not find the actual number, just the percentages that I gave you.
All right. Nice.
2 credible sources.
You can call them credible. Wait, what did you say? PolitiFact?
No, Pew Research and factcheck.org.
Factcheck.org is not a credible source. They cite other credible sources.
Well,
or they try to. And then Pew Research is a survey organization, right? Don't they just survey people?
Surveys, no, they don't.
Well, then how do they figure that they can count all the illegals? What about the gotaways? Are they really? And honestly, Obama, I don't care what you say and I don't care what they say. Obama was for illegals because we all know that Obama was for illegals coming in and staying in.
That's an opinion.
No, it's not an opinion. We saw him doing it. I have no opinions when I'm at my best, right? We saw him allow in the UACs, unaccompanied alien children. We saw him do DACA, deferred action for childhood arrivals, protecting them from deportation, illegal aliens who came here supposedly underage. And we saw him try and fail to do DAPA, deferred action for parents of quote-unquote Americans, meaning illegal alien parents who have illegal alien anchor babies in this country who are called Americans for some evil reason. Allow them to stay, but that was
more than any.
But that was debunked.
Not debunked at all. Just
no. I mean they took down his DAPA thing.
No.
So the deportation, I don't care about the deportation numbers because he didn't secure the border, and he specifically wanted to give amnesty.
But he voted in support of strengthening the law.
That's nice.
That was already there.
Votes mean nothing.
Well, he was only a senator. He couldn't make it happen then. So.
I know, but he was a president, and he didn't act strongly on the immigration issue at all.
Well, those are the numbers. Those are the facts. So
no, those are not the facts. We've been over that over and over and over and over and over again. And I don't buy. They were trying to say let me tell you one thing. According to Ann Coulter, who is a more reliable and honest source than Joe from Phoenix, the number of illegals in the country at the time that Trump was running for office was, according to her estimate, 30 million. And they were trying to pretend like the number of illegals was 11 million. They were saying it was 11 million, 11 million, 11 million. She's like, it's 30 million. So I don't buy because of her.
How did she know, James?
She researched.
How she researched, okay.
She's a research fiend. Yeah.
Okay.
And she's white and honest.
No sources, just...
I just cited my sources, Ann Coulter.
Yeah, and you couldn't tell me where she got her numbers from.
Because I'm not interested in that deeply.
Okay. Yeah,
because
we push a narrative.
It's not about pushing a narrative. We already know that Obama was for illegals, and Trump is not for illegals being so crazy.
Well, we'll see what happens with Trump.
That's right.
See what happens, and if he can deport his mass deportations.
Do you hope he does?
Judges are already... I don't want to see illegals here. Absolutely not.
So you hope they get deported?
I hope people who are here illegally are forced to go back. Sure.
Do you have illegal friends like me?
Not that I'm aware of. No.
Have you ever known illegals?
Yeah, I've had some do some work for me on various projects.
Ooh. Ooh. You knowingly hired them? See, the illegals that I worked with, they had their I-9s. And I shouldn't
say that.
I'm only assuming that they were illegals because they didn't have driver licenses.
Let me retract that. It's my strong suspicion that they were here without documentation.
Because they didn't want to go.
I don't know for sure.
Yeah, my friends didn't want to drive down to San Diego because that's a little too close to the border. And also, they didn't have driver licenses. Like only 2 guys in the whole shop had a driver's license, which illegals can get them, but they're scared to. And they should be.
Okay, so James, I know you don't want me to talk about it, and I won't. I'm just going to say that's the real reason why he wants you to silence me so bad, because he knows he can't slip things past me, and he can't slip them past you.
Oh, well,
Does that make
no.
sense?
That's your imagination, man. He gets irritated.
No, it's reality.
No, it's not reality. You're speculating as to his motivations. He gets irritated.
Oh, that's 100%.
Are you aware that whites and Christians and conservatives like yourself hate hearing lies? Do you hate hearing lies, Joe?
Do I hate hearing lies?
Yeah.
I can say I hate them now.
Does it irritate you to hear lies?
Depends on the lie.
He hates your lies. He hates the lies that you spout. And so
I don't lie. And speaking of lies, and the next time...
But he doesn't lie. He says that he doesn't lie either.
He lied about Caitlin Clark. He lied about Malcolm X and Farrakhan.
See, these are not legitimate lies. These are your opinion that they're lies. What was his lie about Caitlin Clark?
That only black players were fouling her hard. I gave you that proof in 10 seconds.
Oh, that's not a lie. That's just an assumption. I mean, you could call it a lie. Okay, fine. But he was just assuming.
He lied that Weisselberg never went to prison. He lied that...
I don't know about that. Nobody cares about that. You can't... name one lie that's, like, important that he lied about.
You corrected him on Weisselberg. What are you talking about? You corrected him.
I might have, but that's not an important lie.
Okay, but it is a lie. He lied about 1/3 of all black people being on probation.
No, he found the information and repeated it. So he cited his source, and so
He had to backtrack. That it was a lie.
No, he didn't backtrack it. I don't think so.
He absolutely did.
No,
I
don't think so.
And he lied that there was no white organization doing crime nationwide. $1 billion of illegal drugs with Hell's Angels nationwide.
Hell's Angels
on and on and on.
Hell's Angels is not the public nuisance that it once was. It's like behind the scenes. You have to like go in their way in order to get bothered by them. But if blacks are around in your community, then that's a major problem because some of those blacks are criminals, and that's a major problem. And that's a nuisance if you don't mess with the Hell's Angels, they don't mess with you. I'm talking about normal people living their everyday life, their life being directly bothered, molested by these black criminals.
You illegal drugs does not affect society, really, James? You sure about that?
Not directly. Only from those people who buy the drugs and do the drugs.
Yeah, like soccer moms. Because again,
Oh, Lord. Soccer moms. I don't know any soccer moms who do drugs that I know of. Maybe they're doing it, but it hasn't bothered me yet. So at that point, then I'll complain about the Hell's Angels. It seems very, it's laughable that you would compare all the crazy amount of crime in the country and then bring up Hell's Angels. I know that he's saying that whites aren't. What a mess. You're just being a nitpicker about stuff that's relatively unimportant.
According to the FBI, I know you don't like that source, but the FBI, the Hells Angels were instrumental in exploding the opioid crisis nationwide. They were the distribution arm.
Say again? Oh, they distributed the opioids?
Correct.
Oh, okay. Well, bad for them. Shame on them.
So there you go. Anyway, there's one more thing I had.
I thought that opioids were mostly prescription.
Not all, no.
All right.
Doggone it, there was one more thing, and I forget it now. You always get me off track.
I know.
By design, I'm sure.
No, it's not. What do you think about Pete Hegseth and whatever else? The other guy.
You know it doesn't matter. The Matt Gaetz stuff.
Yeah.
None of that. That's all just window dressing. Only thing that matters, as I told you many times, is what Jerome Powell and the Fed is doing.
Will the Senate approve them though?
Oh God, it's going to be a tough one on Matt Gaetz. They might approve Hegseth though.
Why would Matt Gaetz be a tough sell? I mean, was he a senator or a congressman?
Congressman, but
yeah, he's a U.S. representative elect.
Yep. He is, but 17 years old is tough to overlook.
Because he was dating this 17-year-old. And how old was he at that time? Allegedly.
I think it was close to where he is now. I think it wasn't that long ago.
Oh, in 2020, he was accused of it. But at what point did the supposed act occur?
I'm not sure. But supposedly that young lady testified to Congress, and this is really disgusting. I won't get too much into it, but supposedly a friend of hers, who's also underage, was watching that.
Well, that's called jail. Never mind. I shouldn't say that word.
Exactly. No, you're right. It is. Exactly. That's exactly what it's called. And if true, again, I wasn't there. I don't know if it's true or not, but I know he was being investigated before it. So.
How are you supposed to know a 17-year-old is only 17 and not 18 or 19 or 20?
You shouldn't even be close to having that problem.
Oh, I'm not. But this guy, he's a relatively young man. He's like only 42. I'm 43, so it wouldn't happen to me.
Not yet. Oh, James, come on.
Well, in 20, wait. He was in his 30s at the time, right? This is 2020. In 2020, he was in his 30s still. He was 38 or 37.
Look, I got married when I was.
And that was when he was accused. So prior to that, he would have been in his maybe mid 30s whenever this actually supposedly happened. And it's just allegations, and they're trying to call it child sex trafficking, which we all know that's a stretch. And then
that's a legal term.
I know it's a stretch, but it's a stretch because child sex trafficking just sounds awful.
All it means is that he transported her over state lines.
But that's not a child. That's a 17-year-old young lady underage, considered a minor. You could say minor S-word trafficking. Huh?
The law doesn't distinguish that, James.
And if he was dating her and stuff like that, this is so dumb. It's irrelevant to his leadership ability.
Yeah, you're missing the point again. Now, it's not going to be. It doesn't matter if it's irrelevant or not. What's going to matter is the senators who have to vote to confirm or not confirm him. They're going to be worried about their own jobs.
Shame on
how
them.
Bad they would look if they approved them. And that's what it's all about.
Well, hopefully the normal people see through this. Is just he's a pro-Trump guy, so they want to take him down and they want to dig up crap like this. Sorry, kids.
I don't know how approved he is, what qualifications he has to be the top cop in the country either. Do you?
Oh, his qualification to be the top cop? I think that he's qualified. He's a congressman. I mean, he seems like he's qualified.
I don't even know if he has a law degree.
Why do you have to be you don't have to have a law degree. Law degrees are just trash. It just turns you into a lame intellectual. Don't you have a law degree?
Yes. Attorney General, James.
Yes.
Attorney General.
Right.
That's the name of the job.
But it doesn't mean you have to have a law degree.
Yeah, you should be an attorney.
No, it says you.
That's the name of the job.
But it's just a name for a job. He's the top cop.
You should have a deep understanding of the law on a nationwide basis. And I don't know him well enough to know one way or the other if he has that.
Yeah.
I'll have to research that. Anyway, James, I hope you take to heart some of the things I said today about who's really on your side and who's not, and who's putting your show at risk and who's not.
Stay with it. What do you think about my T-shirt? Stay with it.
You know that I dismiss everything that Jesse said.
He has a Juris Doctorate from William and Mary, according to Big Bump, who's a reliable source.
William and Mary, second-rate school. Okay.
A what?
Interesting. Second-rate school.
You always have to poo-poo the whites' great accomplishments.
The whites. Matt Gaetz is not representative of the whites.
I know, but we're taken in whole. You are always poo-pooing the greatest among us. Trump,
very different.
JLP.
Of the great. JLP is not white.
But he's white on the inside.
What does that even mean, James?
That he is washed white as snow with the blood of Christ.
Then I am too, then, yes?
If you are. You don't act like it. You don't act very pure-hearted. What are you laughing? What are you laughing?
You can't bring yourself to admit it.
Well, I mean, you need to live up to it now. I encourage you to live up to it.
I always have, always will.
Well, I doubt that because you just admitted that you don't necessarily love your friend and your fellow white man, Mark.
I do not admit that. I've always said I have Christian love for everybody, but I'm also going to hold them accountable, and I will continue to do so. And that's why and by the way, that's protecting you. You're welcome, James.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you protecting me.
You're welcome. You can call up Mama all you want to.
Should I stop calling you Stassi Joe?
That one doesn't bother me. Actually, the snake actually. Oh shoot, who was it? It was. I saw something that someone from history was called the serpent, and I'm thinking, oh, that's fantastic. Someone that I admired. And I forget who it was now.
Okay. The serpent in the garden in the historical book, the Bible.
No. That's your other caller.
Whatever, man.
Yep.
Interesting. Thank you, Joe in Phoenix.
Man. Good talk. Talk to you later.
Bye. And Mark, since he constantly was bashing Mark in Los Angeles, what's up?
Well, you gave him 30 minutes to do it, so, why don't you just put him on for the full 2 hours?
Maybe I will.
Everything he said, I'm sure you will. Everything he said was a lie. The issue of Obama and deportations, we'll start with that. The Obama people considered a turnaround at the border, when they catch an illegal.
Right, they changed the definition.
These demons call that a deportation so they could get on your show, and you accept it. You don't push back. It's go ahead, Joe. You got the floor.
I'm tired of pushing. I'm tired.
Show. And if you want to let this guy propagandize your audience, that's fine.
But I'm tired.
Pardon me?
I'm tired of pushing. I'm tired of fighting. I can't take it anymore.
Him and you won't have that issue.
Why would I want to ban him? modern day debate in the chat. He likes Joe from Phoenix. Why would I ban somebody who people like? It's not that he agrees with him, but he likes hearing from him. These people like hearing from him. Why can't you just cheer up?
Oh, after he attacks me and puts a death wish on me, he's a low-life snake.
Wait. He stopped. I didn't hear any death wish today.
Oh, that's today.
Right.
You gave him a pass on it. And said it.
Love keeps no record of wrongs, and you're a man of love. You're a Christian.
Good excuse.
Yeah.
Keep defending Satan. Okay. The other thing is, and the reason I called, over the weekend, I saw a very interesting picture, one next to the other. They showed ancient Rome from 2,000 years ago when they had columns, on buildings.
Wow.
And modern architecture was taking hold. And then next to that picture, they showed Africa 1 hour ago, where these savages are living in huts like animals. But yet the white man had civilization 2,000 years ago. These people are never going to catch up. They depend on us for their survival. And when you educate one, they become indoctrinated, white-hating communists like the guy you just had on.
Yeah.
He lies through his teeth, and you let it go. But it's your show. So
I mean, some stuff I don't know, and when you
he depends on your ignorance.
Well, I know, but when you
he thrives on your ignorance.
But
I never lied about anything, and he's the one that said Elijah Muhammad and Farrakhan were behind. And you agreed, by the way.
I kind of did.
Behind Malcolm X's. Yeah, you did. Play the tape back. They conspired to kill Malcolm X. He's the liar. And
Did you hear
is listening.
Did you hear Farrakhan? Pardon? Did you hear Farrakhan gloating? I saw some footage of Farrakhan gloating after Malcolm X got killed. He seemed to be gloating.
He killed him? Does that mean he conspired?
No, it does not.
Thank you.
Well, how is that much better, though?
Said so. He said Elijah Muhammad and Farrakhan were behind it. He's the liar. And he also lied and used, of course, the FBI.
But I don't know or care who actually was behind the killing of Malcolm X so long ago.
I understand that you don't care. The only reason I bring it up is to showcase his lies.
But he showcased your quote-unquote lies, and
Name one.
He couldn't bring up one that I cared about.
No. Oh, he said something about this Weiselberg.
Right.
Okay, that guy is a political prisoner.
Right.
He was chief of staff, I believe, of the Trump campaign, I think.
Yeah.
And they just, it was either testify against Trump or we're going to send you to jail.
Exactly.
That's how communists act.
Yeah.
Oh, the other thing I don't want to forget.
Yeah.
I also saw some photographs over the internet this week, and now they could be fake, but they were put off by Candace Owens. I'm sorry for saying her name. I know I'm not supposed to name drop.
Thank you.
But of people at P. Diddy's parties. It showed Gaetz, Bill Gaetz, and I think it was...
Not to be confused with Matt Gaetz.
No,
the evil Gaetz, not the good Gaetz.
Right, the criminal.
Yeah.
Bill Gaetz. And it also
he's a criminal. Well, I don't know if Bill Gaetz is a criminal now. You're calling him a criminal. That's not my words. I disavow that.
Well, he pushed the vaccines. How many people died?
Well, he pushed what vaccine? He pushed vaccines on Africa. He's trying to help the poor African kids. I don't know, man. But anyway, you're calling him a criminal. I'm not calling him a criminal.
Okay, I'll take that back.
All right.
But he is an evil man. And
yeah, he's a liberal.
In the photographs, it shows, and his wife divorced him over this, by the way.
Wow.
He was both at Epstein Island and at P. Diddy's party.
Well, shame on his wife, because she should have stuck by her man.
Oh, he's an evil demon.
Well, so is she. She's an evil demoness, maybe.
I agree, but they're both. I'm only bringing that up to show you that there is something going on with the Gaetz couple. Because if she left him, regardless of the fact that they're creeps.
I don't know. You're just saying you don't know that that's why she divorced him, do you?
Well, no. But what else could it be? I mean, okay.
I mean, he's weak. He's kind of lame, and she's over it. And she made money off of divorcing him. She became like the second.
That's true.
The richest.
Can't deny that.
Yeah, I mean, women tend to divorce and then they
Okay,
make up reasons. And so let's not say that, oh, she divorced him because of the Epstein Island stuff. That could be
okay, but I mean, you could assume that. Maybe I'm wrong.
No, you don't assume, man. Especially because that's like an attack on men to make it that type of assumption. You wouldn't want that. You wouldn't want people to make assumptions on you. It's just like when you say stuff about Joe from Phoenix and you say stuff, make jokes about the goat and stuff. Like, that's wrong, man. That's too far.
Oh, that was a slip of the tongue. Come on.
All right. Go ahead.
Okay, but anyway, on the pictures, if you saw these characters that they posted, you wouldn't think much of them as a man. It shows Jennifer Lopez with two men, and
I don't really want to hear about this stuff, man. Okay. Because it's too like vulgar for my taste.
Well, it is, but what they did was vulgar.
Well, I know, but us talking about it is vulgar, in my opinion.
Okay, let me just say this, and we could catch another lie from this demon in Phoenix. He said that the National Socialists were pedophiles. Not one National Socialist was at Epstein Island or with the P. Diddy group.
Right.
No, it was race mixers, homosexuals, and white haters. That's who make up the pedophile community.
All right. Okay? Enough of that P word.
Well, I just have to put it out there for the audience so they know.
No, you don't have to put it out there.
No, I was accused of being pro-pedophile by this creep.
But you're the one who feels like you have to defend it. Like, that's something that nobody even took seriously. It was like, him stretching, him reaching. I got you. So I pushed back on him for that too, by the way, because I saw that was ridiculous.
That. No, but
but you feeding into that is like, no. I think that's pathetic.
I'm not feeding into it. I'm trying to show you the man is a liar. And that was another one of his many lies.
Yeah. All right.
About the pedophile issue. Okay, but that's, you're letting it pass. And these are serious lies. Okay,
no, they're
but
not.
I get called out for Weiselberg. I mean, give me a break. This fraud, and that's what
all right, I gotta go. I gotta go, man. I gotta go unless you want to move on and talk about something real. Yeah, because you're not talking about anything real. You're just defending your own ego.
No, okay, let's talk about something real.
Yeah, please.
Let's talk about how people could call your show.
No, that's not something real.
Okay.
Talk about something real.
I just gave something real. The P. Diddy parties.
That's not real.
You didn't want to talk about it.
No, because
it's real.
No, it's
he's
not.
In jail.
So what?
He's in jail.
A lot of people are in jail. You know who put him in jail? You know who put him in jail? Some black guy who's like an up-and-comer, like my age or younger. So that doesn't mean anything, somebody being in jail.
Wait a minute.
Talk about something real. All right, I got to run, man.
He's innocent?
I don't know. I don't care.
Well, you just said about being in jail.
What does Sean Combs have to do with your life at all? Or the country? Or the country?
Huh?
What does Sean Combs have to do with the country?
The moral collapse of the liberals who attended his parties and those who want to push every evil on us, from transgenderism.
That's all
to
irrelevant.
All these illegals.
They're going to push the transgender stuff with or without Sean Combs, what they call P. Diddy.
The point I'm bringing up, and I don't like P. Diddy. I don't like to talk about him.
Then why are you doing it?
Because I have to show you what the perverted culture of our people are today because of the liberalism.
Right.
Of people like the guy from Arizona, the Democratic Party, the media. I can't think of the name of the group, but there was a group back around the time of the January 6th deal where they were talking about they were going to expose the Democrats for what they are. And you don't want me to say the word. I know I'm censored here, so I can't say the word, so people aren't going to know what I'm talking about. But the point is, this group whose name escapes me were considered right-wingers. They were considered conspiratorial. They said Trump was associated with them. It was all lies. But in reality, everything that group said was true.
Oh.
And P. Diddy and Epstein are examples of that truth. It was Democrats and liberals who were at these dumb parties. And, the conservatives want to give them a pass. That's fine. And you want to talk about something that's real.
Yeah.
They want to slander Matt Gaetz over something that they've already cleared him on. The
Interesting.
DOJ cleared Matt Gaetz on that underage thing 4 years ago. But they're bringing it up, and now they're bringing something up.
Is that true? They cleared him on it already?
That's what I heard. Listen, Hake, if they had one bit of evidence on him, he'd be in federal prison right now.
Interesting point.
But even this communist and controlled DOJ can't find anything on Gaetz.
Well, that's an example of like the attack on men. Like people are taking a suggestion about Matt Gaetz, and then they're smearing him over it, just like you took that suggestion about, oh, Bill Gates went to Epstein Island. Like going to Epstein Island means anything.
Pictures.
I know, but
I saw the pictures.
Pictures of him in compromising positions, or he was just at the party?
Yes.
Gross.
I know you don't want to believe it.
No, I don't want to believe it. I don't care.
That.
But anyway, the point is, you're saying that, oh, his wife divorced him over that. You jump to all kinds of crazy conclusions, and that's human nature to do stuff like that. That's evil.
Well, it's also evil to do what he did in the pictures.
I don't know, and I don't care. That's his business.
She divorced him. I don't know if that's the reason. I would suggest it might be.
You're missing my point. You're missing my point. I don't care about that situation. I'm talking about the fact that you jump to all kinds of crazy conclusions based on just suggestions and pictures and mess.
Well, I mean, it's logical to believe a woman would leave her husband if he was going to these parties.
It's not logical to make an assumption like that.
Pardon me?
It's not logical to declare that to be the case when you don't know it to be the case.
I can't, because I don't see the legal filings. I don't have access to what she wrote when she divorced him.
And nor should you even be interested.
Any normal man who looks at that case is going to come to the conclusion, and I can't say affirmatively for sure 100%, but the chances are that if you're married to a man who goes to these parties, you're probably going to divorce him. Is that a stretch? Is that in my imagination? I don't think so.
You are in your imagination.
Well, I don't have the divorce filings that she divorced him for.
Exactly.
Okay, but we know what he did. We
don't. I don't know what he did.
I saw the pictures.
Okay, well, good for you.
Talk about it.
Yeah, because shame on you for trying to talk about it. Why do you want to talk about it?
These demons shouldn't be exposed for the evil that they are.
We already know they're evil.
Oh, but just stay quiet about it then.
I'm not saying stay quiet about it.
So you're telling me to not talk about it.
I'm telling you to not talk about some dirty, vulgar thing.
I'm not being graphic. I'm only telling you what happened. I'm not telling you the details. I'm telling you there's photos of this evil on the internet now. They can't hide it anymore.
Whatever.
And from what I've heard, in order to save his own butt, P. Diddy's going to spill the beans on who came to these parties. And I hope to God he does. They killed Epstein because he was going to spill the beans.
You look silly being this excited about this stupid thing.
I don't think it's stupid to expose liberals as perverts.
We already know they're perverted because they support the LGBTIQ agenda.
Oh, that's true. That's
true. So then what more do you need? You don't need to get into their personal lives.
No, I mean, at the beginning of the conversation, you said talk about something that's relevant.
Yeah.
That's in the news. It's relevant.
It's not just because something's in the news doesn't mean that it's relevant. It's not something that's when you tell me something like I can't think of something relevant that you've said, but you've said stuff that's relevant, that's interesting. I
told you.
No, over the past, not today. You haven't said anything relevant today.
Oh, the picture
except for you mentioned one thing about Matt Gaetz was cleared on that thing. That part was interesting. The whole rest of your call was lame.
What about, but your friend in Phoenix, oh boy, he really gave a good speech. Of course you think that way because you gave him so much time.
You sound like my wife you sound like my girlfriend if I had one.
You're looking for a way to cut me off.
No.
Because you're censoring me on everything I say.
Boo-hoo.
If I say something about the pedophile people, don't talk about it. If I mention somebody's name, don't mention names. It's like I'm in a box. I got to watch every dang on word I say. Because you're looking for a way to cut me off. In terms of fairness. Do you want to show your buddy in Phoenix? See, buddy in Phoenix, I'm fair. I cut him off too. That's your game here.
You don't know. You don't know
I do
me.
know. I've been listening for years, and I'm not mad at you. It's
Right.
your show. Okay.
You know who else has been listening for years? Joe in Phoenix, and Joe in Phoenix doesn't have me right either.
I don't know what he is.
Nor does
so
he have
evil.
he doesn't have JLP right or anybody. People just because that's like those atheists who said, "Oh, I read the Bible," or the Christians who say, "I read the Bible," or the Christians who listen to Jesse just to judge him. They don't know anything.
Well, I don't know about that. I think Jesse's a good man.
Yeah.
I think everything he says is true.
Yep.
The only complaint, well, first of all, before I go there, and then I'll get off your phone, what I said at the beginning of this call about the Rome from 2,000 years ago versus Africa 1 hour ago.
Yeah, okay.
That wasn't relevant?
It's kind of obvious. It's like,
Well,
okay.
it's obvious, but some people are going to argue that we're all equal and there's no such thing as racial difference.
Yeah, that's fair.
And
Fair
that's
point.
a lie. Okay? They want not you, but they want the public to believe Negroes are just white people with dark skin. And that is such a ridiculous, evil lie. The brain size, the IQ level, the culture, we're completely different. We're not all equal, regardless of what Thomas Jefferson said. It was like Hayden said earlier in the call, and I've said this myself. The Constitution was written by white men for white men. And Thomas Jefferson was a racist because he had slaves, and he's the one that coined the term, all men are created equal. So just think about that. Think about what I'm saying and how far our country has fallen in just the last 60 years. And what's going to be here in 60 years from now? This 1.005% is a lie.
Yeah.
He says he doesn't lie. That's a lie right there. 13% of the population committing 80% of violent crime, that comes out to more than 1.005. I don't care what kind of fuzzy math you guys use, or he uses.
Nice.
That's all I got for you. I love you, Hake.
Thank you.
I just had to tell you these things.
Appreciate
So
it.
if I'm speaking in a stern voice, that doesn't mean I'm angry.
No,
I'm
no.
not an angry man.
Right on. I appreciate
you,
it,
sir.
Mark. Take care.
Have a good one. Bye.
You too. Bye. Nice. We're approaching the top of the hour. Goodness gracious me. Let me read some super chats. I believe that there are some that I got to get to. Look at that beautiful sunset. It's so obvious, this globe. Okay, TJ bought this coffee saying, shout out, Hake the Puppet Master. Joe the Snake was funny, but you brought out Mark's avatar, which made me howl in laughter. That puppet looks exactly like how I thought Mark would look. Shout out to Mark. He knows not what he does, but he keeps listening to this show so he can overcome his anger. And he says he's not an angry man now. That's cool. Although the other week, on Friday, he said that he was quick to anger. Or not. I asked him if he's slow to anger. He said no. But yeah, right on. Mark's a solid guy. So is Joe, though. We use the term solid loosely. I don't know if listening to this show will help him overcome, but if he listens to JLP or he listens to, real things, then that's cool too. Base America First with a coffee. Trump is playing 4D chess regarding Kristi Noem. Appoint Noem, that's Kristi. She's to DHS, Department of Homeland Security. So South Dakota has a man for governor because she's the governess of South Dakota. Tell Kristi that illegals are untrainable dogs. Eliminate DHS to shrink the government. Nice. That would be fun. I'll be surprised if you turn out to be right on that prediction or that wish. Fantasy. Base America First. Gruesome, that's Newsom, thinks he needs to protect Californians from Trump's policies of lower crime, lower energy costs, and lower prices. Indeed. Yeah, we're going to protect California. Rob Bonta, too. That guy. The Phillips 66 refinery in the Wilmington area that makes California special blend fuel. Not Wilmington, Delaware. Wilmington, California. Are you talking about the street Wilmington in Compton right there? Not sure. That in Wilmington area, okay. That makes California special blend fuel, or is it Wilmington? Is it outside the state? Anyway, that fuel is closing in response to a 2023 bill that penalizes refinery profits, reducing the in-state crude oil refining capacity by 8% will increase California fuel costs, which are already exorbitant. Wow, what a mess. Base America First knows energy. What a mess. Ridiculous. Evil Gavin Newsom. So sick. I have to know where Wilmington is. Wilmington, California. Where is that? Wow, it's actually a neighborhood in L.A. Okay, and I guess there might be a oil refinery there. Let me see. Oh yeah, I mean, I see some oil. I do see some like oil pump things. You know those dinosaur-looking things that go. You don't even hear them. They're just going up and down. They're pumping oil on the hills down that way. Nice. That way. South. You know, like Culver City area. And further north, further south, I don't know, further inland. Anyway, nice. Thank you, Base America First. Wonder if that's the same area that he's talking about. Lin Yen Chin. Lin Yen Chin said something interesting about relevant means something like pertinent to my vanity. Yeah. Like, I have no interest in the Diddy stuff or the Epstein stuff. It's nasty. If it's blackmail thing going on, then okay, fine. Big deal. If it's like people being degenerate and dirty, like there's degenerate, dirty things that people do. And you have like no idea, nor do you really even want to know. Normal people anyway. I guess I don't have normal people in my chat because some of them are all about that stuff, talking about it, looking into it. It's sort of gossipy, girly, gross. Doesn't the Bible say it's shameful even to mention the evil deeds done in darkness, even to talk about it? And so what's wrong with you that you're so interested in it? GP says, interesting that you have no interest in this. I guess I'm an interesting person in your mind. Because that's just vanity. That's just being nasty. And sick people. Anyway, Lin Yen Chin says, breath, blood, and intent. Those are three things that are interconnected. This is why mouth breathers have, and I breathe through my nose, right? Have inferior gene expression, shorter and weaker lifespan. Amazing to hear that 1954 commercial telling you mouth breathers what I know by instinct. Weak blood. There was an old commercial about Geritol. Created. Created. Whatever. Mouth breather way to say created. Oh, because Canadians pronounce eh as a. They say a. Did. And he's Canadian. Mouth breathers have no living sense of syntax. Their phonetic patterns are monotone, but they pretend it is diverse and intelligent. Only God creates, also known as makes something out of nothing. I wish my monitor was on over there so it could look like I was looking at the chat. But instead I have to look up like this. What a mess. I'm not familiar with this created. Whatever, thank you, Lin Yen Chin, appreciate that. He's criticizing how you pronounce created. Created, not did. Motorcycle. Are you another Don Yale? Is Don Yale here? Can you turn that thing on? I don't know what happened to it. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Anyway, thank you, Lin Yen Chin. Appreciate that. That's kind. The support and criticism. Oh, yeah. What's up, Aries 1 with a diamond? Nice to see you, man. Hey, there we are. And there was some, hey, guys, over in the D-Live, not the D-Live, the Rumble crew. I forgot to, I'm afraid to show these, Mobetta. Mobetta has these super chats that are just brutal. And I'm not sure that I can. Okay, so Mobetta gave a few super chats as well. What's up, Don Jr.? Nice to see you, man. Mobetta says, do not give free... Oh, no, wait. I have to read these in order. Flat Earth. ISS aside, International Space Station aside, I saw sunset. Then went to the top of Burj Khalifa and saw the sunset a second time. Wow. You go pretty fast, Mobetta. There you have it. In your face, Flat Earthers. Thank you, Mobetta. Appreciate that. International Space Station sees how many sunsets and sunrises? Do not give free internet to future Niger princes. Nice. Mobetta with another super chat. Joe, somewhere in Arizona right now trying to plot to take down the Hake report. So alleges Mobetta. Stand up. With another Ninjagini, but first, Gio out of Arizona. Got to figure out how to convince all listeners that we are evil, far-right extremists. Nice. All sounding like Hannibal Lecter or Pinky in the Brain after reading the Talmud. Aw. Thank you, Mobetta. Appreciate those Ninjaghinis that came in late on Friday. And I feel like there might have been one more over here. Yeah, okay. No, we're all clear. Nice. Nice. Okay. Alex in California is on the line over here. Alex, thank you for calling and holding there, man. What's up?
Hakey Bears, sound check. I'm like driving downtown San Jose right now. I'm on Bluetooth. Is that okay?
You sound okay to me.
Okay, cool. We'll make it quick. I was watching YouTube the other day and something popped up with Schmorgan, and he was interviewing a handful of people, and there was a very fiery homosexual black liberal who was basically just getting shut down, using all the phobic words and the isms and all that stuff. And Piers was just like, you guys have lost the presidency, the House, and the Senate. It's like, your time is over. All that stuff is done with. And there needs to be a new tactic on the left to convince everybody to go with them, because if they keep this quote-unquote woke stuff up, they're not going to ever take power, at least for the next, probably 4, 8, 12 years maybe.
Wow, interesting. So they're...
And it was... Oh, go ahead, sorry.
So, we're actually like the people are seeing through the crap. That's what I hope that people see through with all this sex allegation crap. Because I don't think that normal people care about Matt Gaetz, Pete Hegseth, Donald Trump, or even really the Diddy and Epstein stuff. I hope that they're seeing that it's like cherry picked. It's just to take somebody big named down, and it's not like real or consistent.
Yeah, I mean, in my opinion, it's taken long enough. You know, most of us figured this stuff out in 2016.
Man, you're. Can you close your windows or something, man? The heck?
Is that better?
Yeah.
Sorry, man. I'm on the freeway.
I know, but it's like your windows are wide open or something. Because first when you came on, it was just nice and quiet, and then I hear this
I was driving
roaring.
35. Now I'm doing 65.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah, so I think it's nice that it seems like free speech is finally coming back. You know, all that ism stuff is fading out.
Yeah,
it's taking too long, but thankfully it is.
You know, I was pleased to hear this soundbite on the radio yesterday morning, driving in for church, getting ready, that the head, he's like this Asian guy, I guess, sounded like by his name, the head of the LA Times fired or disbanded or is taken out, restructuring the editorial board of the Los Angeles Times and bringing in, hopefully, like a balance of normal, like conservative voices, because they're just so off the deep end liberal. And there's a big reaction against it. There's people striking, quitting, maybe, and people canceling their subscriptions, thousands of people, supposedly. But that is also kind of the spirit of the freedom of speech, because he's like, if you really want a democracy, you're supposed to have all voices heard, and all voices are not heard. It's only like an echo chamber. And so that was so refreshing.
Well, I mean, it might be refreshing, but I don't, in my opinion, that's probably not a good idea on their end, because just like you said, they got backfire from their fans. They brainwashed their people so thoroughly that if they backtrack now, they're going to get eaten alive by their own people. They've created a monster.
But it depends on how they do it, because there's a whole cultural shift that may be happening. Like you said, free speech is coming back. So that made me feel good about the LA Times. And I've not felt good about the LA Times. You know, I have feelings, of course, emotions.
Right.
But,
and I mean, I'm not like a Schmear Smorgan watcher, but I was like, holy crap, is he saying this? Like, wow, that's good for us then.
Yeah, every now and then that guy says some sensible things. He is an older man after all. A blind squirrel finds it.
I get kind of, what is it, weary or wary? I forget.
Wary, W-A-R-Y.
I get wary of Piers and people like Adam Schultz because they're former lefty commies.
Yeah.
And now they're like, oh, I saw the light. It's like, okay, bro.
Yeah.
You're a little late on that, but whatever.
Yeah.
It's just nice there's a shift. You can feel it. You know, we saw the turnout of the election. Everybody has pretty much spoken. We're done with that stuff. So
yeah, it was a
people
pretty
like
dominant.
Joe and Mays, who had a really terrible attitude, like kind of gloating, thinking that we were going to lose.
Yeah, were they?
Just pack up your attitudes and try to be a little bit more pleasant. Cause your team lost the presidency, the House, the Senate, everything because of the way you guys are. And
that's right.
It's not going to, like, calling us all Nazis and racists and homophobes. You're not going to make us join your team. So.
That's true. Nice.
And then one short caveat on the sunset thing, because this is just driving me crazy.
Okay.
Well, not literally, but
no worries, man.
This is the reason why I don't really battle Globers anymore. Your super chat that said the guy saw the sunset, then he went on the Burj Khalifa thing and saw it again.
Yeah. That's
literally a flat Earth proof, because if you're saying it's setting, it's going behind the alleged curve, but then he goes up, like 50 stories, whatever it is, and he sees it again. So that means there's more distance to that quote-unquote curve. So
that's impossible.
Oh, sorry about that.
You guys got to figure out if you can see the curve on the ground or if you can't see it from 120,000 miles up. It can't be both.
But if you're higher, then you see further. Then you see further.
Correct, but I mean, you guys. Well, when I say you guys, I'm talking about like science believers.
No problem.
Like Neil deGrasse even admitted that you can't see the curve when you're above the ISS like in space because
Yeah.
we're allegedly too big. So right
Yep.
there, if we can't see it that high up, how is Hake seeing it at the beach?
No, I'm not
Doesn't
seeing
it?
the curve. I'm seeing that the fact that the sun is dipping below the horizon, and it's clearly dipping. It's not as if that it's pointing away. You see like half the circle, meaning that it's going below the horizon. Do you follow me?
Well, hopefully Trump will release the flat Earth files, and we can all just put this to rest at some point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, no, I mean it's obviously a globe, but yeah, nice.
All right, that's all I got for today.
It's good hearing
and,
from you, man. Yeah.
Joe and Mark, please go to your rooms and face the wall for 15 minutes.
Yeah, aren't they acting like children? Like they're just
It was like
accusing.
little boys today. Most of the time, it's like whatever. I just tolerate it. But it's like, guys, come on.
Yeah. And
All
Mark
right,
was
you have a good one.
particularly bad. Thank you, Alex. Take care. Very nice. All right. Ari in Canada is on the line here. Ari, thank you for calling and holding, man. How you doing?
Hey man, how you doing?
Doing fine.
Good. Hey, I just got a question. I'm like gonna turn it around totally for subject wise.
Okay.
Just because I've heard a lot of politics today on the show, and just
No, you're fine. What do you want to talk about?
hey, so I don't know if you're aware, but the notion that Terrence Howard made, one.
That black actor, the black actor from Whoop That Trick.
Oh man, I memorized that song. That was the coolest scene in movies.
I've
You
never
remember
even seen.
when-
That's a movie called
when they
Hustle and Flow. It's a black movie. I haven't seen it, but I just know the line.
Oh man, when they cooked that beat up,
Uh-huh.
and then he came in and he dropped it. It was pretty tight.
Right on.
But he came up with this notion that in nature, 1 times 1 can't equal 1.
Oh.
And I just wanted to get you, it's pretty intense actually. But then I just wanted to get your opinion on that because he kind of blew up the internet there for a second on it.
Yeah.
I don't know, right? And then I started
I heard a little bit about that.
right, and then I mean, in your opinion, like I'll put it this way, bro. When I was in grade 4 and we were learning the multiplication tables,
Yeah.
as soon as that equation came up, I looked at it. I'm like it's impossible. How could that be true?
How can
When,
one
you know,
1 times 1 mean equal 1?
Yeah. When naturally you see 3 ones in the equation as is, right? But that's not even like debunking it. That's just keeping in mind. He said in nature.
In nature.
Right, and then in nature, 1 times 1 can't equal 1. Show me in nature. And I tried to find it, and it can't be true.
I have one in nature right now. This is not exactly nature, but I have 1 times mug equals 1 mug.
That's not nature.
1 times 1 mug equals 1 mug.
Okay, so what's 1 human times 1 human? 1 human times, so man times a woman.
No,
equals what?
it's
1 human?
No. No, you're mixing it up. 1 times 1 human.
1 human times 1 human, right? One
No.
times one.
You can't do 1 human times 1 human. That's
How can you multiply itself? Like what? So 1 times it multiplies itself?
Yeah, 1 or just 1 of. You instead of times, do of. 1 of a human. 1 of 1 human. That's 1 human.
1 of 1 human.
When you say 1 human being, the multiplication is implied. It's not really multiplying because it's 1.
It's not multiplying, right?
Yeah.
It's not. It can't be multiplying.
Good point.
That's what he's trying
Okay,
to get
interesting.
at.
Okay, all right. I follow, sort of.
Right, so it's like, and then also too, like 1 set of, so you have 1 set of humans times, 1 human times 1 human. Because if you did a man plus a woman in the same house, it's just 2 humans, right? But now if you do one man times 1 human times a human equals a baby.
Yeah.
In a sense, that's 3 in a sense. Or what if she had twins? Maybe it'd be 4. At that point, 1 times 1 is 4.
This is different from it's different math, man. I guess that's God. That's creation. That's multiplication. That's
what I was going to get to. So
multiplying.
You're saying
That's
so the
multiplying.
First term of multiplying is to be fruitful and multiply, right?
Yeah. Do you smoke pot, or did you used to?
Since I was 12 every day, I'm 33 now. Shoot.
Oh, to this day?
What's that? No, I'm 30. I've been smoking almost every day.
Even like yesterday and today?
Almost definitely, bro.
Oh, okay. That's
Most
funny.
definitely, but I'm
Because
not.
you have a little bit of a
but-
pot laugh, and then the fact that you're mind blown by this also is kind of it's amusing in a pot head
In a
kind
pot-like
of
form?
way. Yeah, that's funny, man. And I can tell you're Canadian too, because you said grade 4. Over down here in the States, we say 4th grade. 4th grade.
Actually, I'm a dual citizen. I was born in Washington State. I moved
Awesome.
to Canada in like '97. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. They actually made me do kindergarten twice because of that. Messed up.
Yeah, that is messed up. I had a friend who failed kindergarten. He was in my class, and then he was held back. Terrible. We laughed at him. But it wasn't a big deal.
Man.
It's not a big deal, man.
No, it's actually not a big deal. Actually.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but yeah, I don't know. And then also I was on the Joe Rogan podcast, right?
That's my competitor. Watch out with naming my competitors.
Oh, I'm so sorry, man. Conflict of interest, my bad.
You're promoting my competitors. They may surpass me. Go ahead.
Well, maybe you guys should get Terrence Howard on the show. Ask him about this 1 times 1, or do some research, because when I was doing research on it, and then he used that equation, whatever, and for virtual reality, VR or HR virtual reality, that he actually has a patent for creation on that.
Wow, he does.
And that's actually So
but they give out patents for anything. Like, who knows how valuable this patent really is?
Well, yeah, he said he forfeited or something like that back in the day. But then if you look on it, who's using it, it's like Sony and all these big shots, whatever.
Oh, okay.
And now we're on the virtual reality. Anyway, but I thought maybe you.
But these blacks, they like to brag, you know. They like to say, "Oh, I came up with
He came out
this."
pretty humble. He came out pretty humble. I mean, he lightened up.
I know, but how do you humbly say, "Oh, I have a patent, by the way. That Sony uses it, by the way."
Well, no. I mean, not like that.
No, I mean, I like the guy. But I'm just saying, blacks like to brag and say stuff. And
right.
Anyway, go ahead.
Right. But so if I'm saying like in the notion, but he's saying just in nature, right? Like he's not saying 1 times 1 doesn't exist. Maybe in like the decimal world, I guess, or in the high interest, like when you're going below the 1, I guess. But in nature, have you seen anything naturally 1 times 1 equals 1? Like actually, besides school, really, have you ever seen an equation? Use that equation? Something so simple, whatever. Like you see 1 plus 1 in a lot of places.
No, it's already.
It's like right in front of you. But have you ever seen 1 times 1?
It's self-evident.
It's just 1. If you can't put it in the multiplication table, right?
Right.
All right, I was wondering your thoughts on that real quick. I've been
Nice.
asking quite a bit of people.
Instead of using times, try using the word of, because it's the same thing.
Okay.
Use the word of. So like 3 of these is 3 cups. I'm holding up a cup. 3 of these is 3. If I have like a dozen mugs, and I have 3 of a dozen, and then that's 3 dozen. So that's what multiplying is.
Well, so how come it doesn't
It's
work
just
with
using the
humans?
word of.
Okay, but so then what if you said the exact same thing, but just with humans? So you have,
1 of 1.
3. So you have 3 humans.
God
right?
is 1 of 1, and then there's also Jesus and the Holy Spirit. And so God is 1, God is the Father, and then He's also 1 with those His
How am I supposed
Son.
to rebuttal to that?
So God is 1. You're starting to sound high too now, Hake. This is just water, I'm telling you, in my cup.
All right, yeah. I just wanted to get your opinion on that. So you're saying use switch it up, use of instead of multiply.
And then
when.
or 1 time of 1. 1 time. 1 time. Blacks used to like to say that.
1, but if you say 1 time 1 and you use that in human, 1 human times 1 human, like I don't get that. You can't like.
How is this? How is this worth being on like the Fallen State or something?
Maybe
I think other things.
Terrence on the
I think there are
State.
other things to talk about with Terrence Howard about like we're high on math. We're getting high on math. That's funny.
Oh man, just adding up. Yeah. All right, man. Well, I just want to get your view on it.
Nice.
I'm not saying a bunch of people. I'm just putting something together here. So I'm thank you for that.
Cool. Well,
And yeah, man. Enjoy the rest of your show.
thanks. Take care. Boy, oh boy. Jaime is been on hold for oh. Jaime. You mean vodka. I used to think that vodka was just a strong accent for water. I have some vodka. What? Because the water, the W sounds like a V when those Germans or Russians or somebody. Because I don't know the difference. I literally thought that vodka just meant water. 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 Doesn't it? Vodka. But no, it's not. Right on. Okay. George in Fremont, Ohio. George, thank you for calling and holding there, man. What's up?
Hake, what's good?
Everything.
Hey man, I just want to get your opinion on two things. So yesterday I tried out a new church, right? And the pastor was talking about Book of Daniel, and he was the point he was making was about having integrity, like in all of our affairs, whether it be business or family or friends or whatever.
Uh-huh.
So my question that I wanted to ask is, have you ever had people pretend to be your friend, like fake friends?
Like, and they knew that they were, like, it was obvious to me, and they knew they were pretending, like they weren't just the normal pretense. I feel like I have, yeah. I've run into that before a little bit.
So how did you handle that situation, if at all?
I was stunned. I was stunned by the callous, evil, selfish, cold-heartedness expressed. And just, I realized that it was just fake. It was with this gal, actually. It was with this gal. None of you guys know her. So don't even be speculating. But this gal I met, and we hit it off, and then I didn't do something that she wanted to do. Yeah. And then she's like, okay, bye. And then it was interesting. And then I realized I was selfish too. And I realized that that's evil human nature. And that's like an extremely obvious version of what everybody really is.
For sure.
And you kind of almost, for a second, you almost like admire the shameless honesty of that dishonesty, if you will. The shamelessness of it. Because women have no shame in being just evil, judgmental, nasty sometimes. When I've
somebody said once that there is no equity, with women.
Right.
They forget everything that you've ever done for them. Every time they go to bed, they forget everything that you've ever done.
They forget what they've done, and definitely they can't remember anything that they've done.
All right. So my second question is a different topic. Like with the economy and everything, you know how Elon is talking about cutting the government down, like pulling it back. How do you think he can do that without UBI, like a universal basic income or like some type of welfare or something? Because you're going to put a bunch of people with like almost no skills like out on the street, basically.
Oh, because there are a lot of job openings, and if we deport illegals, that will make some low-skilled job openings, and those people can go work in those low-skilled job openings.
Oh, there you go.
That's
There
one
you
idea. I was listening to it on the radio on my way into work this morning, I think, and some expert was saying, "Oh, these illegals," or he didn't admit that they're illegals. These immigrants do a lot of low-skilled labor, and if Trump is successful at his mass deportation, the economy is going to take a hit. I'm like, fine. We'll get rid of welfare, and so the people who are on welfare and unemployment, these able-bodied men and some women who are just trifling, they'll go back to work. There'll be plenty of work.
It's going to be interesting for sure. There's going to be riots.
I hope you're wrong, but yeah.
My mom is super liberal, and she gets all up in arms like, "Oh, who's going to pick your strawberries? Who's going to?" I was like, "Well,
and
there
UBI,
was a
you mentioned
when we used to do that."
Yeah, exactly. And UBI, for those who don't know, UBI is universal basic income, meaning free money. Give people free money just for being alive in the country. And that's what you were suggesting for the bums who are in the government. We basically have UBI for them. What a mess.
There's a lot of it.
Yeah.
Well, hey, all right, that's it. I don't want to take up any more of your time, sir.
Great call, man. Call me again whenever you have a question or
all
comment.
right, later.
Take care. Jeremiah in California is on the line here. Jeremiah, thank you for calling and holding, man. What's up?
Awesome. How are you?
Hey, doing fine. Thank you.
Thank you for taking my call.
Yeah.
I forgot when, but a while ago, before the election, I called you and I asked you how you felt about it. And I told you like how I was thinking we were going to do pretty good. I thought that Trump was going to win, although I didn't know for sure, you know. And you said you had a tension.
Yeah.
You felt this tension. And I wanted to ask now that it's over, how do you feel?
About that, I feel great. I'm happy that Trump won. It seems like it's eye-opening for some people. And that I am pleased with. I am, like I mentioned earlier with Alex from California, I loved this story that I heard from the LA Times about the LA Times, that the Los Angeles Times is supposedly going to try to include some conservative voices and not just be the ridiculous liberal, far-left extremist editorial board and editorializing even in their reporting. And they're going to just start having to like include some of their fellow Americans again, rather than just... I heard that the LA Times killed, or the leadership killed the editorial boards. They were about to endorse, as the LA Times was about to endorse Kamala, and they killed that. I love that.
Yeah.
So I'm pleased with some of the changes I see. It's refreshing, but yeah, that's how I feel about it now.
So you're feeling good, huh?
Yes.
You're feeling good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, huh? Like it's like got you up and down, huh?
Totally, man. It's ridiculous. It's stupid to be. It's stupid, honestly, to be moved by something so far away that is going to have very little effect, because Gavin Newsom is going to protect us from all the good things that Trump is going to do here in California.
Yeah.
So it doesn't even matter.
Yeah. You know, I have to say, though, although I didn't feel anything before, after I did get a feeling from it, and I was kind of like surprised by that. I was like, wow, I can't believe I'm feeling something.
I know. It's so crazy how vain we are.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when something happens to somebody gets accused of something, or they go through a breakup, outside looking in, that happens all the time. What's the big deal, right? But then when it happens to you, you feel the shock and surprise. It's like looking third person at somebody who's on the stage, and it's like no big deal. But then you get on stage, and suddenly it's like a big deal. That's that fake ego craziness. I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, and also I think that if you were thinking like, if you had like expectations, like this grand expectation of what's going to happen, I think you're also going to be let down.
Oh yeah, totally. That's what a lot of the whites.
I think, yeah, it's kind of crazy, but I do have to say though, I think we're going to be fine. You're gonna see things get cheaper and stuff, and you know.
Right.
I hope he does a great job. I really do.
Me too. And he seems like he's already doing a great job, you know?
Yeah.
His way of being has already changed the culture for the better. Him, Elon Musk, all that stuff, that spirit of the freedom of speech that he has, and that love for the country that he has, just love, period, that he has, is so genuine. It's inspiring. It is inspiring to a lot of phonies. A lot of phonies get up in our feelings about it, for, against, or for. But that's more important to me than whether he builds the wall, whether he deports the illegals, whether abortion goes or comes, whether crime goes up or down. All those things, he's going to take care of that too, because he's a capable man. You know, the best he can. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, it's looking up in the future, but, you know, always have a wait and see attitude.
For sure.
Although I have to say that it is kind of changed the way
What? You're breaking up a bit. Oh, I can't hear you anymore.
Yeah.
Hey, you're breaking up, Jeremiah in California. Where are you? Oh, Lord. Jeremiah going once.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you. Where are you? You traveling or something? Why are you going in and out of signal all of a sudden?
I'm in Ukaipa, and I'm in my work van right now.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I appreciate your call. I got to run because this is too inconsistent. But call me again, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right. Take care.
My call.
Yeah. Of course. Call again. Bye. Very nice. Hake, you are over the top with the Trump slobbering, says Age of Inversion. It's true, though. Trump is, what's up, Age of Inversion? It's true. Trump is, his genuineness has changed the culture. And there are phonies who, like, go crazy in favor or against, overboard. Yes, that's true. The slobberers. I don't think I'm slobbering, though. Or even if I am slobbering, I'm right about this part. That is more important, because that is bringing back Christianity, bringing back manhood, bringing back a little bit of realness and honesty to the and balance, if you will, to the country. So that I definitely appreciate. It's more important than the wall and these phony things that people nitpick him about. Ronnie in Ohio is on the line over here. Ronnie, thank you for calling and holding there. What's up?
My brother Hake, how you doing?
Doing well, Ronnie. Thank you.
Yeah. I wanted to ask about, I guess, your thoughts, because you didn't say it, but both Mark and HADEN both dropped this soundbite that says the Constitution was written by white men for white men.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
That means for the founders, the Constitution was written for those people who wrote it and their fellow countrymen, and their posterity, meaning their children and children's children. And then, you know, some of the sensible people whom they let into the country too. You know, because they do allow some immigrants in, even back then.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what does it mean pertaining to black people, I guess, or non-white people? But I guess we should do black people first and then expand it to non-whites. So if the Constitution was written by white men for white men, then how does it pertain to, what does that mean pertaining to black people?
At that point, it doesn't mean anything for black people. It's kind of irrelevant to the blacks. Now, the Constitution has been applied to black people, I think even during the country. And honestly, there were some black freedmen in the country, so they probably included here and there some blacks already inadvertently, you know. But overall, it was for the whites, white country. So it does apply to blacks because whites are pretty fair-minded, and America's been pretty fair-minded or tried to be. And sometimes they go overboard trying to be quote-unquote fair-minded. But yeah, it applies to blacks too. And blacks should definitely appreciate the Constitution.
Okay, so you don't know what Mark or Hayden meant when you don't know what their overall point was in saying that the Constitution was written by white men for white men?
It means that the country should continue to be run by the whites who are like this more sensible voters, you know.
Okay, so black people shouldn't hold political office?
They can, you know, like the sensible ones definitely can and should. Like Clarence Thomas. He's like the best justice. He is the best justice. Probably in my lifetime.
Okay. I probably should have called in when they were talking. I was caught up with work, but I really want either one of them to explain to me what they mean by that and what's their overall point. I don't know if they're saying the Constitution doesn't apply to black people, therefore we don't have the freedom of speech and can't be criminals under the Constitution, or if they have some other point that they were trying to make. Because in my Jesse voice, my response was, "We're the founders now. You say that they did." And I'm like, I rest my case.
Yeah, in reality, we have to deal with one another now, as we are. He thinks that
precisely.
He thinks that America should stay nationalist for the nation of the white Anglo Saxon, maybe Americans who founded it, and you know, maybe let a few blacks in and some Hispanics a little. You know, they were around here. They helped a little bit.
But the white Anglo-Saxon that founded the country is dead.
Right, but their posterity are still here. And some of them think better than others. Some of them, you know, I know some crazy dumb liberals who supposedly descend from the early American people, and they're dumb liberals. You know, like there's this guy who's like a great-grandson. He's not exactly a founder, but he's like a great-great-grandson of, what's that guy who's an American hero, Confederate as well? Robert E. Lee. The grandson is this lame liberal. So the quality of people has gone down seemingly too.
Yeah, I think that kind of applies to most countries in the world, if not all.
Indeed. Why is that? Again, is that because we've gotten fat and sassy and spoiled?
No, I think we are temporary humans living in a temporary world, so nothing's going to last forever.
True.
And people get caught up in that stuff, and they say, this is a white country, and a white man's supposed to be in charge of everything, and there shouldn't be no black people telling me what to do. And it's like, dude, be in the world, don't be of the world. But they can't help it because they're angry.
I guess so.
But, yeah, I'll probably try to call in and whenever one of them are on the phone so I can run those questions by them. I don't want to put you on the spot and have you speaking for their ideology and what it means and what it comes from. But Because I really, really want more clarity on that. Because either the Constitution shouldn't apply to me, or it should, and then they can kind of clarify what the heck they mean.
Okay. Nice. I appreciate it, Ronnie in Ohio.
Yes, sir. Yep, I'll leave it there, and I'll probably talk to you sometime later this week.
That sounds good. Take care, man.
All right.
Bye.
Take care.
Jaime in Minnesota has called back. Jaime, thank you for calling. What's up, man?
Hey.
Hey.
How's it going, Hake?
Going well.
I just wanted to ask you about, tell you about the nuclear explosions that they tested back in the 60s, 50s, and 40s.
Okay. Like when they were making the atomic bomb and stuff like that? And then growing those bombs and stuff?
Yeah, they made them. And, that Project Fishbowl is about the atmospheric test.
Okay.
So they launched the nukes up into the air, and then they let them explode, and they tested what was going on. Some people, the conspiracy theorists, think that they were trying to break through the firmament.
Uh-huh.
But what ended up happening was that explosion radiated out. So it didn't hit anything. If it had hit something, it would have made a mark.
Oh.
You know, like if you light a candle,
yeah.
you know, that soot that comes out?
Yep.
It'll mark your walls.
Yeah, true.
If it's too close to the walls. So it would have done something like that, and that didn't happen.
Yeah.
But what they say they were testing is for EMPs.
EMP bombs.
when a
Electromagnetic pulse.
Right. So when a nuclear bomb explodes, a lot of different kind of radiations happen.
Okay.
Gamma rays, alpha rays, beta rays, but also it causes EMPs. And one of the last tests that they did, it was in the Pacific Ocean, and 1,400 kilometers away in Hawaii, they had electrical surges.
Okay.
From that test. And 1,400 kilometers is from the East Coast to the West Coast, the furthest parts of America, is about 9,900 kilometers. So that's the distance that nuclear explosion affected Hawaii.
1,400 kilometers.
Right, so about 10 to 15% the distance
across the country.
America.
Okay, wow.
Yeah. So that's pretty far. But anyways, so they were doing these tests, right? But also it creates immense heat, and so it ionizes things. In the atmosphere, you have all these different gases. And when you heat up or power up gases, they can cause lights, like neon lights. You know those neon lights? There's gases in there, and then
yeah,
put electricity and heats up and whatever. Same kind of thing. Now, back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s is when people saw the most UFOs, you know. People were all about, I saw this and I saw that. Well, there were about 500 atmospheric bomb tests during that period of time. Russia, America, and the United Kingdom. They were all doing it. So those lights that people saw were more than likely from those atmospheric tests, not actual UFOs.
Oh, okay. That totally could be.
Yeah,
and you know, like they
do,
also had these anyway, go ahead, continue.
Well, those charged particles also got into the magnetosphere of the Earth. You know, the Earth has a magnetic shield around it because the Earth's core is liquid molten metal. Well, those charged particles will go into those magnetic lines, and that'll cause clouds, visible lights, visible balls, or things like that to move. And some will just kind of stay there and move.
Wow.
So they know that
awesome.
happens from a nuclear explosion and atmospheric testing. Now, there was only 500. Only. That's a lot. Okay. But in all, ground testing, like 5,000 amongst, those three nations. That's a lot of testing. They say they don't do that anymore, but who knows, you know?
I would advise them not to.
Right. What do you think of that? That's the UFOs.
I've never been interested in the UFO stuff, honestly.
Well, that's Project Fishbowl, too, what that guy was saying, that they tried to explode the firmament.
Okay.
Well, if they had tried, it would have left a mark from the debris of the explosion, and it didn't. Instead, it just radiated out. So the firmament, if there is one, is the atmosphere, like you're saying.
Right. Yeah. Nice.
Food for thought.
Well, thank you for the information.
Okay.
Appreciate it. Jaime in Minnesota. Take care, man. Bye. What a mess. We're at 5 minutes till, which means we're at 10 till. I got to end on time. Make sure you do catch Joel Friday TV. We have a fun episode of Punchie TV coming up with a guest from church, actually. And it was a nice shout out to Joel Friday TV, who I believe he edited that preview that you may have seen on the Jesse Lee Peterson show. Punchie TV, American Anchor Baby afterwards. What is Joel Friday's episode going to be called? What is it called? It's The Fall Out of Masculinity. Joel Friday TV, right after this. Punchie TV at 2, right? Pacific time. And then Anchor Baby, 4 p.m. Play a pretty song, Hake. What should I play? I don't know if I have any other super chats. I will have to read them another day, if so. Callers, I cannot get to you. I got to end on time. Should I play Soul Junk? What do we have? I don't have much time, though. I like this song. Oh, no. Yes, I do like this song. Adios, America. Play the worst song you could think of, Hake. I used to like obnoxious music, and this might be an example of an obnoxious song. It's called Moonpie Eating. Okay? So let's hope that it's not too blasting for you. Adios, America. Joel Friday coming up next. Take care.
Junk to the soul. Yeah. Junk to the soul. This thing needs holes poked in it. I pause for a minute to reflect on what keeps folks stressed out and guessing. Ain't no wrinkle in time. A 15-tone line, a theoretical spine can stand up to the mind that exists within mind. Possessing all things, take part with the divine. Ain't lessening the messianic shine, one single photon. These scribes got a rack by the door, they hang their brain in the coat on. I float bond, word, gospel absurd to the natural. Capture all data and rapture y'all with truth that hits the syllabus like John Wilkes Booth. Dead presidents for gods, I got proof. You pray to your ceiling, formally aloof. Only signal finds its way through is cable access. Your priest is an actress who feed on the mattress off the dish on the roof. Fact is, I jack this beat 4 degrees off its axis to get my battle axe and smack this point home. Sweet home hits the dome. Christian sandpaper grooves soft as cactus. Tactical weapons as tools, clear synapses. Signs and wonders speak the word and enact it. I cracked it, the code that forbids the download of the abstract to actual. Fire-tongued and implode. Power glow for this hour known by those who sing heroes. Beyond the sepulcher, slowly get the message, but always shoot the messenger. This session here goes out without doubt to those far and near, saturated in the love I bear, blood bathed. Peace, way beyond your mental persuasion. It's raspberry time, do the bump if you're stumped, you get rump abrasion. Stop playing hard to get and get your lumping matter gray stung. This gospel broadcasted across nations. Fire breathing on your station. Lax to the soul and make you sensation.
And he's white and Christian. He's white. So good. Thank you, guys. Take care.